Fuka Kikuchi, a sweet, kind, and gentle girl enamored with books. Or in Tomozaki's words, an angel of light. Greetings, adventurers, this is Lorne, your guild advisor, and in this video, I'll be focusing on the character of Fuka Kikuchi and what exactly the anime adaptation of Bottom-Tier Character Tomozaki fails to convey about her character and her relationship with Tomozaki in the first 6 episodes of the show in comparison to the light novel source material. Naturally, this video contains spoilers up to the 6th episode of the anime series, so watch at your own discretion. Previously, I've stated that I would be releasing a video detailing the cuts and changes made between the anime and light novel, covering 1 light novel of content per video, but the current presentation of Fuka's character in the show inspired me to prioritize the making of this type of video before releasing the bigger project of my episodes 1 through 4 versus volume 1 comparison. That's still in the works, so please don't be worried. I just want to focus on Fuka for this particular video. What an anime adaptation inspires to do is to effectively interpret the source material and translate that content into animated form. Factors such as the amount of episodes a series is given, how many volumes of source material are planned to be covered, and the amount of time given to a production all affect the end product of an anime. Naturally, there will be varying interpretations on what particular points need to be highlighted in a story when an anime adaptation is made. For me, one of those points is how the series is able to focus on specific characters during their individual arcs, but still include gradual developments between Tomozaki and the other characters. How even if some characters aren't the current focus, they still get screen time. It's a bit like life. Even if you are focused on a specific goal, the other factors in your life simply don't disappear while the majority of your attention is on that goal. There's also a bit of nuance to Tomozaki's thoughts surrounding specific characters that appear lost in the transition to the anime as well. Thus comes some of the gripes I have with Studio Project No. 9's handling of Fuka's character in these first 6 episodes of the anime. When Fuka is first introduced, prepared to lend her packet of tissues, Tomozaki in the light novel describes her, noting her unique, sensitive aura and fairy-like presence. One glance was enough to know she was beautiful. It's quite the grandiose description compared to the other ones he gives for other characters. Later on, while Fuka is waiting for Tomozaki to blow his nose, he observes that her black eyes glittered strangely, like treasures in a dense jungle. With as much attention to detail as Tomozaki gives to Fuka's appearance in the light novel, the anime doesn't do much with this scene to reflect Tomozaki's description. This scene plays out without any particular special attention put on Fuka's appearance or Tomozaki's thoughts concerning her. Their second encounter is while Tomozaki and Hinami are eating at Fuka's workplace. Omitting that Tomozaki noted that the glasses looked amazing on her isn't too serious of a cut, but I do believe it is a tiny bit important to note that Tomozaki has continued to notice her in an attractive light. Next comes the scene after Hinami is assigned to Fuka to be Tomozaki's love interest. Tomozaki has complicated feelings around the matter, not wanting to be insincere when it comes to romantic relationships, but for the time being, he goes along with Hinami's plans. Unexpected to Tomozaki's plans, however, is that Fuka is the one who approaches him first, leaving him unprepared. The anime does a decent job at shortening the conversation between the two of them, but again, the anime doesn't do much to translate Tomozaki's descriptions of Fuka in any way. It is here that Tomozaki describes Fuka as an angel of light, and that she was giving off a smell like a field of flowers in paradise, which was softly smothering his brain. Additionally, while Fuka is asking Tomozaki to read the novel she's writing, he notes that he was being mentally attacked by a pair of eyes misty with the morning fog around a sacred tree. Later on, when Tomozaki resolves to tell Fuka that he actually hasn't read any of her favorite author's works, he enters the library, spots Fuka, and notes this in the light novel. When I opened the door to the library, Kikuchi-san was already there. She noticed me and gave me a smile like a soothing spring breeze. She's beautiful. Now, I don't believe the anime has to adapt every single description that Tomozaki gives of Fuka, but the anime really does not do enough to convey how Tomozaki sees her. Tomozaki only does these fantastical, detailed depictions for Fuka, and the anime fails to do anything to bring attention to this aspect of his character. Having this perspective the light novel gives would definitely change the overall experience for anime-only viewers, as I've seen many comments on how people believe the anime is trying to steer viewers into pairing Tomozaki and Hinami together. I think many people would think otherwise, knowing how Tomozaki sees Fuka. This video might sound like the grumblings of a biased fan of Fuka. I won't deny she's my favorite character, but even if I were to brush aside how the anime doesn't do much with Tomozaki's depictions of her, there are still 2 separate scenes with Fuka the anime has outright skipped throughout the latest 2 episodes, one of which is very important for establishing a facet of Tomozaki and Fuka's developing relationship. Before the outing Tomozaki arranged with Hinami, Yuzu, and Mizusawa, he went to the library to speak with Fuka. As he spots her, he notes that her eyes could dispel any negative status effects all on their own. The library was as quiet and calming as a temple. It's here that he tells her he wants to actually try reading Michael Andy's books for real, and becomes greeted by eyes that were sparkling like the legendary jewels that opened the door to heaven. They start to read side by side as Tomozaki closes the distance between the 2 of them. While they read, Tomozaki notes that he felt like they were understanding one another bit by bit as time flowed by like a calm and gentle river. These moments were so calming for him that he could not believe he would be shopping with the Normie trio in a few days. He wanted to stay in that moment forever. This is the start of Tomozaki's new relationship with Fuka, with the time he's now spending with her almost having a calming effect for him as he relaxes from the stress of interacting with more of the in-crowd. This scene was important enough to have a light novel illustration, but it was not adapted into the anime at all. The next time Fuka makes an appearance in the anime is during episode 6, and to someone who reads the light novels, it's a very confusing scene. It opens up with Tomozaki staring at the cover of an Andy book, supposedly thinking about the student council election. It doesn't make much sense for Tomozaki to be doing this in the anime, after confessing he hasn't read Andy's work at all. At this point in the light novel, Tomozaki has already started reading Andy books alongside Fuka, which the anime has yet to adapt. Originally, he's just reading side by side with her. Note, this scene was supposed to take place right after Mimimi decides to run for student council president, rather than after she rejects Tomozaki as her campaign manager. Rather than Tomozaki bringing up the topic of the election like in the anime, it is Fuka who notes that it's strange for Mimimi to be running, saying that trouble is brewing. After Tomozaki asks what exactly Fuka wants to change about herself, she gets nervous, and Tomozaki notes that behind the soft, beautiful, mysterious veil of her hair, he could glimpse her pink cheeks, as lovely as the forbidden fruit eaten by Adam and Eve. Again, Tomozaki with the zealous descriptions. I'm happy that the anime at least has him call Fuka cute out loud, the first time the anime has really tried to convey how Tomozaki sees her. In episode 6, the anime skips yet another scene with Fuka. When Tomozaki is going over Hinami's playstyle and how he wants to see if his own would translate to real life, the anime has Tomozaki monologue this as he walks to school. Originally, this monologue happens in yet another scene in the library, with Tomozaki reviewing the rules of life Hinami taught him to help him with the election while he simply stares at his Andy book. Eventually, Tomozaki makes a look of determination, wanting to beat Hinami with his own style of play. This causes Fuka to make a comment about his expression, calling it gallant. This catches Tomozaki by surprise, since normally people make fun of his expressions for feeling out of character or off. What's especially important in this part of the novel is this narration by Tomozaki. My face burned. That was not a word I was expecting to hear. Kikuchi-san touched her mouth with her finger and looked away. Yikes, I almost fell in love right then. Almost fell in love right then. A line like that and this entire scene was cut from the anime. Maybe it'll somehow bring aspects of this scene into the show later on, but that was my same hope for the scene they skipped with Tomozaki starting to read Andy books with Fuka right before the shopping trip. Even if they do, the original structure and order of events being rearranged to such a degree really conflicts with the gradual progression of Tomozaki and Fuka's relationship that I enjoy seeing in the novels. Throughout episodes 5 and 6, Fuka is supposed to be this constant calming presence in Tomozaki's stressful life of improving his social developments, but the anime has effectively removed 2 of these scenes, at least for now. The treatment of Fuka's character is very strange when it comes to the anime adaptation, between not doing too much to showcase how Tomozaki describes Fuka in the light novel, and outright cutting scenes between the 2 of them that develop their relationship. Again, by omitting these elements, it almost feels like the anime is trying to intentionally stir viewers into overlooking their relationship and push a certain pairing of characters. One thing that caught my eye is that the very end of the ending animation highlights Fuka and transitions out of the chibi style animation to have her mouth the lyrics. Whoever was in charge of directing the ending animation clearly has an appreciation for Fuka that I can relate with. Hopefully the second half of the anime brings that same type of respect for her character. Again, I don't want to be shouting doom and gloom about the anime adaptation overall, as I'm still enjoying the show for what it is, and I'm happy to see that as the series has been progressing, more and more people have been acknowledging the series, but I can't help but be wary when the light novel series is so close to my heart. I learned a very painful lesson from Danmachi. Hopefully, the studio nails the second half of the show out of the park. If you're interested in the light novels, they are published by Yen Press, and you can purchase them in physical and digital formats from storefronts such as Amazon, Google Play, Right Stuff, and Bookwalker. Feel free to also follow the author Yukiyaku's Twitter account as he interacts with the fans to a crazy degree. Light novel illustrator Fly also posts a beautiful illustration for each episode. I'll put the links to both those Twitter accounts in the video description. I'll continue to make Tomozaki related content over the course of this season, so please look forward to it. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you can continue enjoying the series. Remember to like the video, subscribe for more light novel content, follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord. This is Lorne, your guild advisor, signing out.
渦を巻く雨雲から差し込んだまっすぐな強い